1778, the winter at Valley Forge, one of the worst things to happen to the Continental Army.
During 1777, Patriot forces under General Washington suffered major defeats against the British at the Battle of Brandywine and Germantown.
Martha Washington was George Washington's wife. She cared for the sick and made clothes for the weak.
She took care of the troops and offered the best care that she could.
You're sick and tired. No way they'll survive the winter like this. Marquis de Lafayette was a French noble and Washington's trusted aide during the war. Lafayette wrote, "The future of America is closely bound up with the future of all mankind."
Washington set up camp about 20 miles to the west of Greenwich. They all endured a winter of terrible suffering. Many people even became ill and died. They all lacked decent food, clothing, shelter, and medicine. Washington's biggest challenge at Valley Forge was keeping the Continental Army together.
Because it was difficult to get supplies delivered due to the snowstorms and damaged roads, the Continental Army built huts and gathered supplies from the countryside.
They also had to find a way to stay warm, so they built their own fires. Many men deserted while the Continental Army was camped at Valley Forge. Some officers resigned and the army seemed to be falling apart.
Frederick von Steuben arrived at Valley Forge on February 23, 1778. He was a former army officer from Prussia. He also came to help Washington. Von Steuben drilled the Patriot troops at Valley Forge, teaching them military discipline. He began training a model company of 100 chosen men. Each company commander was responsible for training the men in his company, including new recruits.
Steuben trained the troops very well and prepared them for other battles. Their troops were looking better and better.
The troops are looking great. Thank you.
My pleasure.
By April, Baron von Steuben turned the troops into a fighting force. They knew they were going to survive.
Juan de Morales arrived in Philadelphia in 1778 as a representative of Spain. At his urging, Spain, Cuba, and Mexico sent financial aid to the colonies. They still needed lots of money to continue to fight the war.
With strong determination, the Continental Army survived the winter at Valley Forge.
Conditions gradually improved and new soldiers joined the ranks in the spring.
Washington and his troops of 11,000 people marched out of Valley Forge on June 19, 1778, and the men were better disciplined and stronger in spirit than they had entered.
9 days later, they won a victory against the British under Lord Cornwallis at the Battle of Monmouth in New Jersey.
That's holding cord! Blooper real fast.
I'm filming it.
What is it about?
Oh!
What kind of water is that? Did they even have slides back then? No.
You got it all over her dress. Katie, what was that?
Realistic.
What was that?
Spit it out!
Do it again, Katie.
Oh my god. Poor creature.
She's alive.
And in my eye. It's in my eyelash.
That's my eyelash. Try to look sexy for the camera.
Mine didn't come out, but it's fine because I'm sure. I don't know where mine went.
Mine didn't come out either.
Hey y'all. Oh, mine's over here. We're from the country.
My gun just broke.
Keep going. It's okay. I can cut it out. It's like he just got up there.
Should we go again?
No, just do the last part over again.
Yeah, come back. You can stop filming.
Okay.
Are you serious? She turned that way.
Katie, no, she'll eat it. Katie!
What is it called? Did you get on video?
Oh, yeah.
Actually, like, I used to not hear. You can't tell, but like,
Katie!
I'll sing it.
you have to go inside because it's really cold.
Yeah.
Don't fall.
And it's locked. How's this gonna work?
Fly,